here, I've already done that. I've already created a private public key pair and put the public key up there. So I'm authenticated, and I should be able to now do that git push command that I did earlier, and it said no to. I typed something in wrong. Well, except for port 22 should now work just fine. Oh, yeah, it's cool. Yes, you're right. Yeah. So, not colon, not slash. And now I can push. So, what I did there is I pushed to origin, because that was the name I have for the track server. That dev scripts was the local branch name. That was what I was working on my local system. Now, I don't have permissions to push to that same name on the remote server. So I had to do colon to specify what I wanted to push to the remote server. So now if we go look at, fortunately I think I closed it, and I can't, did I change the keyboard layout? I did, somehow. I don't quite know how I did that.
Well, you can change it back by at
here? Yeah. So looking here, we'll see that very recently, and scrolling over, yeah, 10 minutes ago, I made that commit, and I just uploaded that commit there. So you can see fix misleading error message. Here is that same diff that I was showing you. I now have uploaded it to the track server. Now, that's not attached to any ticket yet, so I'll need to go back to that ticket that we were at. And because Volker's branch was there, I'm not going to do it on there because I have to authenticate and I forget my password at times. Huh? I was going to do it on my laptop, but if you wanted to do it, you're welcome to. Sorry. Waiting for track. Of waiting for track?
Are you waiting for the ticket to load?
Yeah, I was waiting for the ticket to load. Okay, I've loaded it too, but do you change it or?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's reload. Still waiting. Okay. So, what changed? We look down at the very bottom where as Volker's changed is he only changed the branch field. This commit field was automatically updated, and he did not insert this extra little comment that says what changes were there. They just were automatically updated. So whenever you whenever you change that branch field and it includes newer changes, it'll automatically change that commit field for you, as well as kind of post at least some of the new changes. If there's been a lot of new changes, it won't post them all. And you can click that blue number and it will very slowly try to load the changes that were done here on track instead of on Sage-Git, which is much faster. Yeah. And so you can see here's the same changes there. Okay, so let's go back here. And so I have another copy here, Sage-Git 2. Pretend this is on a different computer, maybe my desktop at home. Made some changes there, but kind of forgot about them, came back and wanted to finish them up. But meanwhile, I did this whole thing, updated it, changed stuff. Here, I fixed some other bug, in my opinion bug. Well, okay, let's not do that. Let's ignore the white space. Should be white space change, right? I always forget. Space change. And you see, there was an extra comma in my name. You don't need an extra comma there. And I wanted to have my name all in one line. So this is a very important bug, in my opinion. So let's fix that. Again, need to stage it. So just here, let's commit them all because it's the only change there. Remove the comma from my name. And let's save that. So a very important change I just made there. And well, I think I also need to set the remote URL here. But now let's push those changes. Uh-oh, there's a problem. See that here, because I made other changes earlier, these new changes are in some sense incompatible with those changes because I didn't have those other changes that we just made 10 minutes ago in my history. So I have two options here. Well, first thing is I should get down those other changes from the track server to my local system. So the easiest way to do that is git remote update will get all the changes for everything that you're kind of looking at. So here, it'll grab all the changes. I'm tracking all the branches mistakenly on here. So we got more changes than just the things that I've done. But we see that one of those is the development scripts. My copy, at least, of them were updated. And so now I have two options. One option is, because I haven't shared this commit with anybody yet, this super important commit of getting rid of that extra comma, I could rebase those changes, or rebase my commit, because that commit is only on my computer right now. It's not gone anywhere. It's not publicly anywhere. Or I could merge in the changes, and kind of there's these two kind of forking directions. This is where a merge would go in. So what you probably want to do in this case is rebase, because these two are just both pretty small changes, and that extra merge is not really necessary right now. But let's just go through merge just as an example, and then we'll revert it. So let's merge the remote version. So here, the remote version is prefixed with that origin slash. That's the remote name. So if your remote name was for the track server was track, you would do track slash. So origin slash, and then my u slash ohana r slash devscripts. And simple merge, nothing conflicted, so I don't have to worry about it. If there were conflicts, it would drop me into a place to go and try to fix all those conflicts, and it would automatically do as much as it could. So now we can look at the log, and we see, okay, I merged. There's a commit for that merge. One of the parents, so because it's a merge commit, it has that extra merge colon in the log. You can see that one of the parents, or it has two parents there, and it has these two short SHA-1s, well, abbreviations of, and each of those you can see can correspond to the next two commits on the log. So those two commits were kind of in some sense made in parallel, and I just merged them kind of seamlessly right there. Sure. And you can get a graph here. You see forks off, two branches. One commit is on one of the branches, the other commit is on the other branch, and then the merge has both of those as a commit. Okay. So now, like I said, that's probably not what you want in this case, because really simple there. and they weren't really done in parallel. So what you probably want to do is, well, first, let's go back and not have that merge. So if we do git reset, we can reset it to another commit, anything that we choose. Here, our current commit is head. And we don't want head, but we want the first parent of head. So you can do that with this little caret there. So if you do a merge and you actually don't want to do that merge, and you decide right after, this is a very nice command to remember, that it'll just reset you to the previous one. I think you do need hard or soft. Because I mean, yeah, you'll want hard. So it doesn't look like, by default it seems to do soft. I forgot what it was by default, but yeah. Anyway, so as we just found out, so let's get rid of those changes. Anyway, so now we have in our log, that merge is no longer there because we just reset back to previous state.
What was the graph code?
Git log graph will give you a graph in the command line.
So I guess you don't need
No, and if you want a more compressed graph, this is the one that I typically go for. Gives you one line per. So now the other way is rebasing. So here we're going to rebase, and now instead of merging that branch, we're going to rebase off of that. So here it should just kind of seamlessly do it because there was no conflicts. If there is a conflict, then it'll go commit by commit, and if there's a problem with some commit, it will drop you into state to fix up that conflict. It looks exactly the same with rebasing. You do a new commit, and then what you'll end up doing is git rebase continue. And then that'll continue the rebasing process, and then if it finds another commit that has conflicts, it will drop you into that state, and it'll keep doing that until you've rebased all of your commits. So generally, if you're running into a lot of kind of issues like that, it's probably simpler to just do one merge and try to fix it all up at once rather than piece by piece.
So can we start at the base and then say, okay, it's on base, because you really don't know that it's
Yeah, so abort is this wonderful thing that works for merges, it works for rebase. Basically anything when you're trying to apply patches and things, or trying to apply changes and they're not working out, if you abort, it just cancels that process. And you'll just start, yeah, just where you start.
Then you can write stuff to your
So now I rebased. So if you look at my log, there's no merge commit in there. But both of those commits that we made earlier are there. What's different though than the previous log is that the SHA-1 for my remove comma from my name commit is different. That, because we rebased, it has a new history, and part of the SHA-1 includes the entire history of that commit. So here, now that I've went and grabbed what was already on the track server, now I can push out these changes. And so the other thing is on the track server, see this little line right here? We have set it up so that when you push to a ticket that's already on, or push to a branch that's already on a ticket, it automatically updates the commit field. So if we go back to the ticket, we reload, scroll all the way down, we see that 35 seconds ago, the commit field was updated, and also it put in this update to what was added. So we see that that extra commit was introduced. Mm-hmm.
And how would you like to, so you do some, I don't know, this tool, like you just get the thing, and then how do you do to save your branch that it should be, like, save your local branch that it should now work on top of the US branch?
So you're saying that you haven't touched any
You
code
haven't
yet?
touched anything, you have your local
Mhm.
branch, you do the new changes
Mm-hmm.
from the remote branch, but they don't have the same name, right? So how do you, I mean,
So there's a couple ways to do that. Some people use pull. I don't actually use pull.
what do you do? What,
I typically run, so the command that let's go back. So the one that I typically run is git remote
yeah, that's what
update.
you did earlier.
Because this command gets in all the changes for all the things that I might be working on. And so, so git remote, so first thing is that we set we have right now just this one remote server, which is track, and it's fine if that's all you have, but you can set, so if you do git remote set branches, and then you want to specify the remote name or the remote thing that you're looking at, then you can specify a list of branches that you want. So here it could maybe just want to follow one thing, master, or it could want to follow multiple things. If you already have a list of things that you're tracking, you can add extra things by doing, yes, that ~A that I accidentally went to. So add some branch. So, and then that'll add an extra branch. And then each time you run git remote update, for each one of your remote servers, it will go through the list of branches that you're following and pull down any updates to them.
Okay, so it knows the correspondence between the local branches and the remote branches.
So it doesn't know that. And I mean, you can set that up.
Okay.
And pull will then automatically kind of try to merge in those changes. It's like set remote tracking or something like that. I forget how to do it because I never do it.
Otherwise, manually you like take the change and then do something. Do you do a merge or do you do
So yeah, so here let's say I went back a bit. So git reset.
Are you out just, I mean, now you want to have multiple ways to do things, but you, without setting up things, you can just say git pull remote track, and then you pull whatever you want.
Okay.
That's one way to...
Sure. Remote space branch.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, then let's try that. Oops.
What does the 2 do?
So the ~2 means go back to.
Go back to the second parent or go back to parent down?
So it'll be twice on the first parent. You do the caret if you want to specify different branches. So if I did ~2, it would be go once down on the second parent.
At some point, it's easy to just specify which
Yeah.
that you want to go to.
Okay, so now if we wanted to git pull origin, it was so this was the origin. So if I do this, it will pull in the changes, and because the remote branch has every single commit that I have, it doesn't actually need to make a merge commit. So it just fast forwards yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
So there is no, if you do pull, it won't be the fast forward like itself.
Yeah, it'll do the fast forward if it can fast forward. Otherwise, it'll do a normal merge. So any questions on that? It's getting kind of late. Were there any other things that people wanted to see?
Well, we can always do more tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. The GitHub one is just a mirror. So
It's just stuff that's download. So we should use this one to download it, and then whenever we want to work on something, actually it's stuff.
I mean, you don't actually have to do anything on track until you finally want to put something up for a ticket. So if you want,
Can you push some stuff on GitHub?
yeah, if you set up a fork, yeah, well, yeah, to your own account. But you can make a fork and push stuff like
Okay,
that.
on your own.
Sorry, but you mentioned that bitrate will decrease and there will be less conflicts. And now I remember a lot of conflicts came for very stupid reasons, like index.rst has to be alphabetic or all.py, and various patches include really just one line in each of the files and conflict because those lines are adjacent. How exactly does it get better with Git?
So,
Is it smarter?
So sometimes it could automatically figure those out if there's enough context, but other times it'll drop you into a state, and it'll only have it'll mark out in the files the lines that are conflicting, and you'll see, oh, I only have one line that is has any conflict, and you just fix that one line there.
That's also a different to the material thing. The material thing, it will reject files, and then you have to figure out where this reject was in the file. And a long time it was a lot wrong. The Git does the conflict marker in a, well, I would say in either way. There's not two files that you have to merge together. It gives you one file in the file. We should have an example,
Yeah.
I guess. But
I see. So
in this one file, there will be written, so this is the version that you have, this is the version that you want to have. This is version A, this is version B, so fix it up. But it's right there. You don't have to go to these two different files and see.
so the merge
Sounds like
mechanism.
like it allows you to specify a strategy for merging. I'm thinking of a strategy that will like each of those kinds of conflicts results.
Not on top of my head, of course. I think it's not a big deal. If you see how the conflict marker is a couple of seconds you go into the file, this is very simple. There's perhaps some feature that you can try and it's very specific to which file you're working on.
And there's different merge strategies that you can pass to Git as well, but the Git tools are so much better than the material ones for merging, from my experience.
Oh. So what if two patches both built on the same pair of patches which have a minor conflict? Each of them merges into patches, but merges them might be a bit differently.
Well, at some point, those two will have to be merged together, and you'll have to sort that out as well.
I see.
And if it doesn't do it, too loosely, then you should get some merge conflicts popping up.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna show?
Do you want me to? I could maybe construct an example real quickly.
Maybe we should not do it now, but
Tomorrow?
tomorrow.
You're tired? Okay, people are tired, so
Yeah.
let's do it tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, one quick thing before we leave. So I
Mhm.
did a rebase or remote update. I checked out back to my master branch. I did a pull there, and now it's recompiling all the Cyclone files.
And that's because there was an update. So during Dan's talk, I updated the Git version of Sage to beta 2, 5.13 beta 2.
So I'm going from beta 1 and I'm having to recompile 287 Cyclone files because of that.
Potentially, if one of the like higher level
higher
ones
ones, like
got
Karen.
touched, then every one of its dependencies
So, I had compiled the tarball that you
Mhm.
provided with it, and I ran the notebook, and I went to the help, and then I went to the developer's guide, and it doesn't seem to be the Git version of the so,
You want to show me?
yeah.
So are there any other questions, or should I stop recording?
You can stop it.
Stop recording? Okay, sounds good.
Can you show us tomorrow also how to